Ainulindalë is the first chapter of the Silmarillion, and it is a beautiful but crucial part to understand because it contains the origin story of Tolkien's universe, a universe created through music. And I want to help you understand this chapter because the themes that are going to be played here will return in the rest of the Silmarillion, the Lord of the Rings, and even the Hobbit. So grab your pickaxe so we can dig into the Ainulindalë. The creation of Tolkien's universe all started with Eru, and Eru is the One. It simply means he that is alone. The elves also call him Ilúvatar, and in the word Ilúvatar we have two different words. We have Elu or Iluve, which simply means all or universe, and the last part is Atar, which means father. So Ilúvatar simply means father of the universe, father of all. And from his thoughts he created the Ainur, which simply translates to the holy ones, and Eru kindled them with the flame imperishable. And the flame imperishable is one of these terms that you come across the Ainulindalë, and the first time you ever read this you are thinking, what the heck is a flame imperishable? And that is an excellent question to have. To simply explain what this flame imperishable means, this flame is what gives a person life. It gives me free will to do whatever I want. To go back to the Ainulindalë itself, all the Ainur first of all sang apart. They didn't sing together at all, until Eru all called them together to create this amazing piece of music. And in this music, Eru is kind of like the composer. He isn't really saying what everybody is need to create from music. He let every Ainu choose what music they wanted to create. And there was harmony. It was beautiful. And this is one of the first things that I want to discuss here about the Ainulindalë. One of the themes that will return through the rest of the stories, and that is they created harmony by working together. All these Ainu working together to create something beautiful, to create something amazing. And you might think, where else have they been working together to accomplish great things? Well, for one thing is the Fellowship of the Ring. All the different races together working towards a goal to destroy the One Ring. And each member of the Fellowship, although they have parted ways, they still work together. They still needed each other to accomplish their goals. Another example is the creation of the Doors of Durin. Narvi, a dwarf, and Celebrimbor, an elf, working together to create this beautiful entrance on the west gate of Khazad-dûm, which is truly amazing. You will see this reoccurring theme in the entire Legendarium, where you can see them work together, and every time they work together they create something great. And among these Ainur was Melkor, who was the mightiest of the Ainur, and he tried to interweave his own themes in the music. He wanted to increase his power and glory, and when he was creating his own theme, he was thinking of the time that he was looking in the void for the flame imperishable, because he wanted to create beings of his own to possess and dominate. He was impatient, but he could not find the flame imperishable because the flame imperishable is with Eru Ilúvatar, and these thoughts he wove into the music. These are the four sins of Melkor, which is pride, possession, impatience, and self-isolation. Although self-isolation is not really a definitive sin, it is a theme that returns every time with an evil character. If a character is going to go to the dark side, he will be self-isolating himself. You will see this with Fëanor or Pharazôn, even with Saruman. Because of this music that Melkor interweaved into the theme that was playing, there rose discord, and some of the Ainur even changed their own music and followed Melkor. Eru Ilúvatar stopped the first theme and a second theme started. It was like and unlike the first one, but discord rose into the music. Melkor again wove his own music in it, and it became so bad that even some of the Ainur just stopped creating music. Eru Ilúvatar stopped the music once again, and he started the third and final theme. It felt like there were too two different types of music playing. The first one was soft and beautiful and full of harmony, and the other one was loud and endlessly repeated. There was little to none harmony. Eru finally stopped the music, stopped the third theme. It was not because of Melkor's discord, no, it was just because the creation was completed. It was finished. And there Eru Ilúvatar said, although Melkor is the mightiest among the Ainur, he cannot alter the creation. It is all part of his plan. They all derive from his thoughts, so Eru knows what they are thinking. And here is a beautiful line that comes from the Ainulindalë that I think is so beautiful and tells you so much about the rest of the stories of Middle-earth, and that is, you shall prove to be but mine instrument, which simply means that whatever Melkor is doing, Eru knows this, and Eru knows this is going to happen, and he will hate it, what he had created, because Melkor thought that he was creating something evil and something dark, something to possess and dominate, but eventually he created something beautiful. And from this point came secret anger. Once again, this secret anger, not talking about this, is something that happens with Saruman as well, when he had secret anger towards Gandalf. I wanna say with this, you shall be but mine instrument, just to give you an example. All bad things will turn into something good. Fëanor, for example, made this terrible oath that he will do everything in his power to reclaim the Silmarils. He even went into exile from Valinor just to get the Silmarils back. Okay, a lot of evil stuff happens, like their first kinslaying at Alqualondë. Don't get me wrong, Fëanor is still a bad guy, but because of his actions, because of the exile of the Noldor that was led by Fëanor, all of this led to something great. It eventually led to the birth of Eärendil, a star of hope that is in the sky. It all led to this moment, which just shows, although something evil has happened, it will turn into something good. And this is part of the music, which is so beautifully explained, and once you understand this, you will see the Silmarillion so much clearer, read the Lord of the Rings with so much more insight than you might have known in the first place before you ever understood the Ainulindalë. Eru finally shows his plan, his vision of the creation of Arda. And to give a little bit more explanation to a certain amount of words, which we will come across near the end of the Ainulindalë, and that is, Arda is like the earth. Then we have Ea, which is the universe, which contains Arda. And next we have Middle-earth. These are kind of the continents that we see on Arda, like we have Europe. He also explained that the Ainur are not the only beings that are going to live in Arda. There are also the children of Ilúvatar, and in this vision they also see a representation of both elves and men, and they were created in the third and final theme, although they did not know it. They were created when they were singing the third theme. Once they saw the children of Ilúvatar, the Ainur longed to be with them, longed for their awakening. And Melkor was among these Ainur, not because of the love for the children of Ilúvatar, but because he wanted to subdue them. He wanted to be called Lord. And once again we have this pride and possession that returns to Melkor, two of the four sins. During this vision, Eru shows Ulmo, who is the Ainur of the waters, that due to the discord of Melkor, frost came into existence, snow came into existence. Because of the fires and the heat of Melkor, water became steam and came into the air, and rain started to fall, which Ulmo thought it was one of the most beautiful things ever. And he went with Manwë, who is the Ainu of the air, to make these clouds, which will be pivotal for life on Arda. With these clouds and the discord of Melkor, once again brings me back to, you shall be but mine instrument. Melkor did something evil, or in his eyes was evil, but it turned into something good and beautiful, like the snow and the frost and the rain. After this moment, Eru advised Ulmo to work together with Manwë to create these clouds, and this brings us back to working together. If you work together, you will create something beautiful. And this is one of the themes that reoccur, like I said, with the Fellowship, for example, the Doors of Durin, even the Last Alliance, when they fight against Sauron at the end of the Second Age. Some of the Ainur descended into Ea because of the love for the children of Ilúvatar and because of the love for what they have created through the music. Some of them stayed beyond the confines of the world. world, and they stayed with Ainulindalë. But those that descended upon Arda were disappointed, because it wasn't like the vision at all. It was only in the beginning state, and the vision was near the end. The children were already there. Ones who descended upon the world were called the Valar and the Maiar. And to translate the Valar, they are simply the powers of the world. And they had Maiar, who were lesser beings, lesser Ainur, who were working for the Valar. And together they wanted to create this perfect world where the children of Ilúvatar can live happily ever after. But Melkor didn't really like that, and he wanted to battle with them. And every mountain that the Valar created, Melkor threw it down. And every valley that he dug, Melkor rose it up. Every sea they created, Melkor pushed it away. And this was the first battle between the Valar and Melkor. Because of this, Arda was made firm and was ready for the children of Ilúvatar. Many themes that we discussed here in the Ainulindalë do return through the rest of the Silmarillion, and that is why the Ainulindalë and even the complete Silmarillion is a must-read for all of you. It can be hard to read, you might even find it intimidating to start, and that is why I have this video right here, where I explain some great tips and tricks to understand the Silmarillion much easier and to help you into reading it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.